guys, for today's lesson we're going to be looking at lesson 14.2, subtraction strategies, in your Go Math textbook or online. Now, if you're in your textbook, we're going to be on pages 437 to 442, 437 to 442. Now, let's take a look at our objective today, what we're going to be doing in class, what you're going to be doing independently. All right, so we will together, through our lesson, through these examples, we're going to draw a strip diagram, we're going to use an equation, or we're going to use a number line to subtract. Independently, on your own, you will solve a subtraction word problem using those strategies. Now, some strategies may come easier to others. Maybe you have a preference. Maybe you like to use a number line to subtract or a strip diagram. Many of us like to use an equation or use that standard algorithm to stack our numbers and subtract them or according to place value. All right, so either one of those. Now, I will make sure to do an example of each one so that you choose what works best for you. All right, we're going to be on page 438. I'm going to do this strip diagram example as well as number 1 on this same page. All right, at Mr. Cruz's vegetable farm, there are 348 tomato plants. There are 136 fewer pepper plants than tomato plants. Now, let's stop right here. We're already talking about two different types of vegetables. We're talking about tomatoes and we're talking about pepper plants. Now, they gave us the amount of tomato plants, but did they give us the amount for pepper plants? Well, they gave us a really good clue. Let's keep reading. There are 92 fewer, less carrot plants than pepper plants. So here, we're adding another vegetable. We have carrots. And again, did they give us the amount of carrots or did they give us a clue? Well, they gave us a clue of 92 fewer, 92 less. How many carrot plants are at the farm? That's the end goal. So let's complete the strip diagram to find the number of pepper plants. And you might be asking, oh, I don't need pepper plants, I need carrot plants. But if you look back carefully at that problem, before you can figure out carrot plants, you have to figure out the amount of pepper plants. All right, so let's complete this strip diagram. We know here, tomato, they gave that amount to us. And we didn't get any more tomatoes, so that's the whole. That's the total for tomato. We have 348. Now for pepper, let's take a look at what this strip diagram is saying. It's saying this part plus this part is 348. Now what did they give us about pepper plants? Well, they told us that there's 136 fewer. Okay, so 136 less than tomatoes. Now, fewer, less. Smaller amount. What operation would we use to figure out the amount of pepper plants? Well, we would use subtraction. Let's complete this equation. 348 minus 136 is some number. Let's figure it out. I'm going to put my larger number up top. Line it up according to place value. Start at my ones place to subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. So 212. That means this part plus this part should be 348. Now, we have to make sure that this is reasonable and it makes sense. Is this number 136 fewer than this number? Well, it could be. Looks pretty good, but we want to make sure that we check our work here. So 212, we think, maybe. I'm going to star my answer. I'm going to use my inverse operation. What is the inverse of subtraction? Addition. I'm going to use my opposite operation to double check my work. Meaning, I'm going to take 212 and I'm going to add 136 more to see if I get 348. That's going to help me make sure that I did subtract correctly. Okay, so let's check our work. 212 plus 136. Go ahead and add that on your paper real quick. Did you get 348? Good. Now, that doesn't mean that that's our answer. Remember, that's the amount of tomato plants. We're just double checking our work. The amount of pepper plants that we have is 212. Now, up here, I'm going to make this a little bit neater, write what I know. I know that tomatoes has 348. I now know that pepper plants has 212. Remember, the end goal is to figure out the number of carrot plants. Okay, so now we can complete this strip diagram to find the number of carrot plants, and then we'll complete the equation. Now, what do we plug in for pepper plants? 212. And again, we're not getting more pepper plants. That is my whole. That is my total of pepper plants. But we know for carrots, there's 92 fewer, 92 less, a smaller amount. So I know that my answer for carrots has got to be smaller than this because it's fewer, it's less. Okay, so I know that this part and this part together is 212. I could also say that of this 212, I'm going to decrease 92. So 212 minus 92. Let's solve. 92 has no hundreds, so make sure that you do line this up according to place value, and let's subtract. Go ahead and subtract on your own, and then check back with me. Now here, if you noticed, there was some regrouping involved. 2 minus 2 is 0. Now, in 3rd grade, are we able to subtract 1 minus 9? Not in 3rd grade. We don't get into negative numbers. So, 1 minus 9, I'm not able to do. I need to go next door to get 10 more. And in order to do that, this 2 becomes a 1. 1 gets 10 more. 1 plus 10 more is 11. All right, so then after that, 11 minus 9 is 2. 1, take away nothing, is still 1. So 120. Let's plug this in. That's saying 120 and 92 is 212. That's saying that 120 is 92 less, fewer than 212. Well, it looks good, right? It's reasonable, it makes sense, but we regrouped here. We want to make sure that we check our subtraction. So let's use our inverse operation of subtraction. Let's use addition to prove our work. So I'm going to take 120. I'm going to add 92, and let's see if we get 212. Did you get 212 when you double checked your work? Great. All right, now remember 212 represents the pepper plants. The amount of carrot plants that we have is 120. So there are 120 carrot plants at the farm. Take a look at this work here, guys. 120 carrot plants. This was not just a one-step problem, right? It took a couple steps to get there. Even more steps if we double checked our work. So make sure that we really are reading carefully. We make sure that we are going through all of the steps. All right, so let's take a look at number 1 on that same page, But now let's use another strategy for subtraction. Let's use a number line. All right, so if you notice, there's two number lines and they're open number lines, meaning there is no tick marks. We can create our own. So Yumi has 61 plant stickers. Okay, 61 plant stickers. She has 24 fewer flower stickers than plant stickers. So now we're talking about flowers, we're talking about plants. 24 fewer. Think of that keyword again. Fewer flowers. That means a less amount of flowers than those plant stickers. What operation would we use to help us determine the amount of flower stickers if we need a smaller number? We would use subtraction. All right, so let's set this up here. We know if it has fewer than this number, again, we wouldn't add because that would make a bigger number than this. Let's put our subtraction symbol. So to find the amount of flower stickers, 61 minus 24. All right, let's keep reading. How many stickers does Yumi have in all? Think about that. Does that question ask how many stickers does she have that are flowers? No. How many stickers does she have in all? How many stickers does she have total? Well, plant stickers is a sticker. Flower stickers is a sticker. I need to have both to find the total. Well, before I can find the total of that, we must determine the amount of flower stickers. Okay, now let's use our open number line. If you notice, 61 is over here. Why did they not start the tick mark over here to the left? Well, if they were to put 61 here, that would mean going to the right, my number increases and gets larger. Does my flower stickers have a bigger number than 61? No, my number is smaller. It's decreased, so I'm moving to the left. I'm moving to the left 24. Now, we can count by tens, we can count by fives and ones, whatever helps you here. 61 minus 24. Let me go ahead and start counting by tens. What is 10 less than 61? Or what is 61 minus 10? 51. Well, I haven't subtracted 24 yet. I've only subtracted 10. So let's decrease another 10. What is 10 less than 51? 41. Okay, so far we've decreased 20. And we need to decrease by 24. Well, do I do another 10? Well, that would be minus 30. That's too much. What if we did another 5? Well, that would be 10, 20 plus another 5 would be 25. You could do that, but then you would need to go forward again, right? I'm going to go ahead and just, for the rest of this, count by ones. Decrease by 1. So, what is 41 minus 1? 40. So far we've subtracted 21. We need to go to 24, so let's keep going. I'm going to subtract another one. 40 minus 1 is 39. 10, 20, 21, 22. Not there yet. Let's keep going. Minus 1 again. 39 minus 1 is 38. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, how much more do we need to get to 24? One more. So let's subtract one more. 38 minus 1 is 37. So 61 minus 24 is 37. Again, if you're unsure about this, we can use our standard algorithm to help us out. I can show my work, I'm going to show it right here, to make sure that it really is 37. Now, can I do 1 minus 4 in 3rd grade? No, go next door, get 10 more. 6 becomes a 5. 1 gets 10 more, so it's 11. Now we can subtract. 11 minus 4 is 7. 5 minus 2 is 3. Does it match? Yes. And of course, we could use our inverse operation here to make sure that we subtracted correctly. Does it match? Yes. Okay, so 37. What does that 37 represent? Well, 37 represents the amount of flower stickers. What is the question looking for? How many stickers does she have in all? Okay, so I now know the amount of plant stickers. I now know the amount of flower stickers, and we want to find the total. How do we find the total? What operation do we use? If I know my 2 parts, but I don't know my whole, I'm going to use addition. I'm going to combine them. Okay, so 61 plus 37. Now notice, 61 is at the left-hand side of the open number line. That means I'm moving towards the right. My number is increasing and getting larger by 37. So we can count by 10s, 5s, and 1s until we get to 37 that we've added on. Okay, so let's add 10 more. 61 plus 10 more is 71. I'm going to add another 10. 71 plus 10 more is 81. Well, we haven't got to 37 yet. We've only added 20, so let's add another 10. 81 plus 10 is 91. Okay, now so far we've increased by 30, and we need 37. If you add another 10, that would get you to 40. That's too much, right? Then you would have to go back, which you can do. It would still work. We can add 5s, we can add 1s, whatever you're more comfortable with. I'm going to go ahead and add 5 more. 91 plus 5 is, or if you show your work to the side, 96. So we've added 10, 20, 30, 5. I've added 35. How much more until we get to 37? 2 more. 96 plus 2 more. Did you get 98? All right, so this is saying 61 plant stickers plus 37 flower stickers is 98 stickers in all. Again, if you're unsure with your open number line, we could add these 2 numbers together to double check our work. And as you see, 98. Either way, either strategy that we used here. All right, let's move on to our next one. All right, I'm going to be on page 439. I'm going to do number 4 using this table. So let's go ahead and take a look at our table. Take a look at your stimulus. The title is Nature Museum Attendance. Remember, attendance is the amount of people that went to that museum. Our categories are the day of the week and the number of people that went on each day. Number 4. How many fewer people attended the museum on Monday than on Friday? What are your key words here? What popped out at you? What is important to solve this question? Well, I don't know about you, but this keyword fewer, that's a keyword that we use in this classroom. What operation typically do we use with fewer? less, a decreased amount. We use subtraction. Okay, what else popped out at you? Well, it talked about Monday, and it also talked about Friday. So I'm going to go to my table, and I'm going to circle Monday and Friday. That means the rest of this information for this certain question is irrelevant. I don't need it. Okay, now notice we read through our question. It's just a one-step word problem. How many fewer, how many less went on Monday than Friday? Let's use a strip diagram to help us out. When we subtract, that means we're already given the biggest amount. We're already given the whole. We're given the total already. We're not putting two parts together. We're not adding here. So, of 526 and 306, what's going to go on top? I hope you said 526. Okay, so I'm going to draw this out. Now, we know that Monday has a fewer amount. It takes up 306 of this 526. And we want to know, well, how many fewer? How much less? What is the distance in between those two numbers? Okay, so if I were to write my equation off to the side, 526 minus 306 is my number of people. Let's solve. Six minus 6 is 0. 2, take away nothing, is still 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. Now, does this make sense? If I have 306 and I combine 220 more, would these two parts together form 526? Also, is 220 a fewer amount, a less amount? Yes. Now we subtracted here with 3 digits. Let's use our inverse operation to check, meaning let's put 306 and 220 together. All right, go ahead and add that on your own on your paper real quick. Did we subtract correctly? Yes. So that answer that we thought, 220, we've proven to be correct. So how many fewer people attended the museum on Monday than on Friday? Well, 220 fewer people. Okay, a couple more together. Oh, but before I move on, remember, number 5, this hot question, multi-step. I do have a math on the spot link for you to make sure that you take a look at that. It goes step by step on it. Okay, we'll do number 8 and 9 together, and then you'll have some independent practice. Now notice on 8 and 9, there's no pictures, so we could use a strategy that we prefer here. So far we've used a number line, an equation, and strip diagram. Choose whichever one works best for you. Kyle's basketball team scores 62 points. Kyle's team members scored 51 of those points of that total. Kyle scores the rest of the points. How many points does Kyle score? Well, Kyle, he's on that team, right? And he contributed to those points. And that's what we're looking for. Now let's ask ourselves, are we going to add 62 and 51? No, I'm not looking for the number of total points they scored all together. I'm already given the total. The total that team scored was 62. That's my whole. It's not going to be bigger than that. The rest of Kyle's team did 51. So the team members did 51 of those 62 points. How are we going to figure out the amount that Kyle scored? Well, that means this plus this is 62, right? So we could say 51 plus a number is 62. Well, I could also say my total minus the 51 that the team scored gives me the amount that Kyle scored. Let's go ahead and subtract. 62 minus 51. 2 minus 1 is 1. 6 minus 5 is 1. So 11. That means 51 plus 11 is 62. Or the team scored this much, Kyle scored this much, and all they did 62. Let's prove it. Use your inverse operation. 51 plus 11. Did we get 62 total? Yes. So 11 points that Kyle scored. Number 9. Susie has 86 songs on her music player. Xavier, different person, has 112 songs on his. Then he deletes, gets rid of 18 songs. Whenever I put that X here, please don't confuse that with a multiplication symbol. I'm just slashing it out, meaning he got rid of 18. Okay, how many more songs does Xavier have than Susie? Okay, so we're talking about two different people. I like to set that up with what I'm given. Susie has 86, and she did nothing with those besides listen to her music, right? Xavier has 112, but deletes 18. If you delete 18, do you still have those songs available? No. What happens to this number? Does it increase? Do you get more songs? No, it decreases, it gets smaller. So here we're going to subtract. 112 minus 18. Remember, 18 should have nothing in that hundreds place. Are we able to do 2 minus 8? Now, go next door, get 10 more. Now, take a look here. You're thinking, well, can I do this here? Do I stop at this tens place? No, I've got to go all the way to that hundreds place. So this 1 becomes a 0. This got 10 more, but gave 1 away. So if it gets 10 more, that makes it an 11, but it gives to this place. So 11 minus 1 is 10. 2 gets 10 more, so 2 plus 10 is 12. Okay, 12 minus 8 is 4. 10 minus 1 is 9. 0 minus 0 is 0. Now, 94 is an answer choice, but what does 94 represent? Well, 94 represents the amount that Xavier has. Is that what it's asking? No, it's how many more songs does Xavier have than Susie. So we're not done. But before we get to that, I subtracted with regrouping. I may have been a little bit confused, right? Use your inverse operation to check. So let's do 94 plus 18 more. Double check your work. 8 plus 4 is 12. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Did we subtract correctly? Yes. So 94 is the amount that Xavier now has. But like I said, we're not done. So I'm going to cross that out. How many more does he have than Susie? So what am I doing with 94 and 86? What does how many more than mean? If you're comparing two numbers, if you're finding the distance between two numbers, are you increasing? Are you getting more songs? Are we looking for a combined total? No, we're comparing. We're going to subtract. So 94 minus 86. Again, your bigger number up top. Can we do 4 minus 6? No. Go next door, get 10 more. The 9 becomes an 8. 4 plus 10 more is 14. Go ahead and subtract that out on your own. Did you get 8? Okay, now look, I have 8 and I have 18. So if I messed up on my subtraction here, they're gonna get me. I know that I could star my answer that I think that it is, and I can double check my work. So use your inverse operation. Let's add. Let's see if we get back up to 94. 6 plus 8 is 14. 8 plus 1 is 9. Did we subtract correctly? Yes. So how many more songs does Xavier have than Susie? Well, he has 8 more songs than Susie has. All right, guys, so for the rest of this, independently, use a strip diagram, write an equation, or use a number line to subtract. But remember, just because this is a subtraction strategies lesson, that doesn't mean that we're not going to be using any addition, right? Because we found out that there is multi-step word problems. Sometimes I do have to add as well as subtract. So make sure that you are reading carefully. You'll have a good day, guys. Bye.